Hello everyone, welcome back to Worldwide Rush, the logistics management simulator where you get to move from just a small town all the way up to conquering the whole world using everything from road vehicles, rail, air, as well as the sea vehicles in the game. Developer decided to sponsor another video of this, so full disclosure on that one of course. This whole video is sponsored by the developer. We will jump straight into it. Right now the game offers 3 different game modes. We have the Classic, we have the Discover, and we have the Sandbox. Today we will be taking a look at the Classic game mode. We will also be taking a quick look at the Discovery mode by the end of this video, so stay tuned. You don't want to miss that. And here we are. Welcome to the world of Worldwide Rush. I'm excited. Last time we had this little area right here to play around with in the demo. United Kingdom, Ireland. I think we got a little bit of Netherlands and Belgium at the end of the demo as well. We now have the whole world. And as you guys know, there's nothing new to this. All roads leads to Rome, after all. So that's where we're gonna start. Rome has quite a few different places where it needs to go. So it seems like a good place to start, actually. Usually, if you look at this guy, it says that you probably want to go somewhere where there is a higher level, and Rome is level 2 with a lot of connections. So we're gonna go with that. First thing we need to do is get our hub up and running here. Hubs is your main sort of way to actually buy vehicles and to deploy vehicles as well. So if you don't have a hub, you are kinda AOL, a little bit screwed, so to say. Alright, establish your first route. Well, we're gonna go from Rome over here over to L'Aquila. That's the plan. You can see that we already have a mission target for that. So let's get over there. And we got a bunch of different vehicles. Some of them buses, some of them airplanes, some of them boats, some of them trains. We're gonna go and filter down to our road vehicles. And I'm Swedish. If you take a look at the Vortex company, it's from Sweden, so I mean, clearly the best one. Clearly the best one. Akala, we'll send you out. We're gonna need 2 of these, because if we look at the production here, we can see that there's 30 per month, and this guy only does 9, and we can do up to 60, which means that we probably want to do that. So let's add another one onto here. So we just duplicate the one we already have, and all of a sudden we have 2 vehicles. Very good. Let's unpause the game. Let's get going. We need to start making money if we're gonna take over the world. We got a new mission as well as we set up our first route. Next up, we're gonna have to set up a foothold. They want us to connect Perugia. Perugia is interesting. I guess they do have somewhere to go. I did notice that Rome wants to go to Verona as well, which is really far away. And the other one they want to go to is San Marino. So let's start by connecting Perugia. I think that makes sense. There we go. That's one connection. Let's have a look at Perugia. Where do you need to go? You need to go to Rome, which is again with 60, so we can easily do 2 of these without any worries whatsoever. That's the first connection done. We need 1 more connection to Rome. And that will give us a grant of, you can see, $182,000. Early game is really heavy on the grant. If you don't build the grant, it's gonna be kind of hard to grow. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. What we could do to help out with that, of course, we wanna try to get some of these cities to level up as soon as possible. L'Aquila could potentially do it up to San Marino and Pescara. That is actually not impossible. What about Perugia? Also wanna go to San Marino. I kinda see a pattern here. See how everyone wants to go up to San Marino? Even Rome, I think, wants to go up towards San Marino. Yeah. So why don't we make it up to San Marino then? I think that makes sense. Maybe even go, because from Rome we're not going up to Perugia for any other reason. So maybe go from Perugia up to San Marino could make a lot of sense. That way we are filling up the Akalas on the way back as well. And then we can have them continue up to San Marino afterwards. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. We just need to get enough for the hub, which is another actually almost 700,000, which means I probably want that over here in San Marino, preferably even in Rimini actually. So we get access to shipping. That makes Verona and these easier to get to if we can just ship people up to Venice. So yeah, why don't we get a hub over here in Rimini? That should be pretty good. And then we actually need to have to drag our route all the way over there as well. Otherwise that won't work. That's fine. And that's a fairly good part of the early game done, I guess. So the first little trip here, it's really short. Like, this is not gonna cost us too much. We can leave that. So that's those done. We are slowly making our way over to L'Aquila here. We could probably upgrade this guy if we needed to, but I think the one we probably want to upgrade is the one going from over here eventually. We could go with Latina. If we get one to Latina, we could have him actually pick up those as well as the people to Rome, and we can add another vehicle to there. I think that makes a lot of sense. We're gonna have to use another vehicle though, because the inventory for Vortex is already full, so that's not an option. Maybe we'll go with Sinter, the Silver Line. I usually like the Summit, but maybe we'll go with the Silver Line this time. I think that makes sense. We don't need to build that right now. We'll leave that one for now, I do believe. Yeah, and we'll just see if they will actually join anyway this way. So if we go from Perugia, will we have this vehicle actually fill up correctly? Let's see if he will fill up to 9. He will not. Okay, so we do actually need this route as well before he leaves. You can see only the people to Rome actually joined, but what we want him to do is we want him to have the people that goes over to Latina as well to join that trip. Which should happen if we add another vehicle right here. So if we take a look at this guy now, he's still transferring passengers, so will they understand that they need to join? Maybe they won't. We can do a little trick here. Let's move him over to Latina. That doesn't work. Still need you to do this. And that will fix that. And then we can remove Latina. That kind of resets the vehicle and recalculates all of the passengers as well. Which means that if we look now, Latina will join, and the ones who were to Rome will actually be deleted. So anyone that's on their vehicle already will just be removed, so to say. So we're missing that revenue, but that's fine. You can see we're actually overperforming our grant quite a lot at this point, doing 5 instead of 3 extras there. So we're definitely getting that 180,000. We'll be able to add even more vehicles from that. But I think it's more a step in the direction of a new hub, actually. Latina to Rome seems good. We're actually gonna have to add another vehicle onto here, I think. So let's do that. One more Cinto. All right, Perugia just hit 100% in travel destinations, so we don't have to do anything more with Perugia, other than keep an eye on all of the connecting trips. So over to San Marino, it probably wants to add another car here quite soon. Do we have one that goes? We actually have you. But we still have a bunch of cars left, so maybe we'll add another one here. We're gonna have to use the Cinto, because remember that our inventory is limited. We're gonna have to continue building up that. How you get different upgrades is actually quite interesting as well. So if we take a look at the vehicles that we have, to get to the Arcalod, for example, which is the second tier for the Vortex, we need to spend 68,250 at that specific company, meaning that you are incentivized to actually spend most of your money with one company, but then the inventory system gives you this incentive to also be spending money with the other companies because you want to build up their inventory, right, as well. So yeah, it's a nice balance, to be honest. Kind of the more money you spend, the more money you can make. Very capitalistic after all. And that seems like it cleared up the city of San Marino. We're now actually running quite a few vehicles here. We have 3 vehicles running up to San Marino because we are connecting Rome through Perugia over to San Marino. We could of course run vehicles directly from Rome over to San Marino as well. Looking at the top right hand corner, we are slowly getting to the end of this month or the end of this day. The game does a funny thing where it goes 24 hours is a month and 24 hours is also a day. So you will see different sort of time scales a little bit everywhere, but overall you just need to remember that 24 hours is the same as 1 month or 1 cycle of the game. As long as you keep that in mind, you'll be good to see. What's most important is to remember that the routes themselves, 1 hour and 50 minutes, that does more or less mean that you're using 1/12 of the day for 1 trip by these ACAs. Meaning that you can more or less do between 11 and 12 trips, it should be, which means more or less 6 trips in 1 route. Which is okay. For now, at least. Alright, we're gonna have to bring out these last 4 to San Marino. We actually have 12 people right now because we have some returning and we have 1 person that is connecting as well to San Marino. So we have quite a few people waiting for these guys to make their way over there. And for the Latina, we don't have super many people who wants to go there at the moment. But at least he won't run empty. And then again, this guy has actually leveled up to 100% for everyone except for Campobasso. Or Campobasso. My Italian is not the greatest if you haven't noticed. More or less these guys actually connect to each other pretty well. So what we could do is just have a route go around this in a circle, more or less. This top little bit. And then have 2 boats go in different directions. And there we have Perugia with the fireworks. Let's take a look at what we got. You can see cities grows. It tells us that Perugia went from level 2 to level 3. We also earned the trust in Italy and San Marino. This has impact on how you're preferred by the population, whether they want to go with you or by any of the competitors around the world. So if we take a look, you can see that we have a few different competitors around the world. At the moment, there is no one who is really close to where we are. I think there is one maybe in Europe. Usually. So this is us. The Latin fleet is in America. Makes sense. We have the Siberian coach lines over in, that looks like Germany. And then we have Siberia Aviation down in Indonesia. Yeah, that makes sense. We also have the Siberian Transit Company over in the States. And we have the Brazil group actually correctly located in Brazil. So that's good. So yeah, our nearest competitors would be up here in Berlin then, but all roads lead to Rome, so I think we'll win. Let's take a look at Perugia. Perugia got an upgrade, so still haven't really gotten the limitations that we have for the next level up. Catencia is all the way over here and it's going to be really hard for us to reach, so I think we're not even gonna try to get to that. That will require another hub, and I don't have the money for another hub. So that's not going to be a thing. Instead, we're going to go with some boats from Rimini here. So let's go Rimini. Venice. If we look at Venice, it wants to go to Reject, or they want to Rijeka. Or they want to go from Rijeka to Venice at least. So if we do that, let's have a look at Trieste. So Trieste wants to go to Rijeka. And if we look at Pola doesn't really want to go anywhere other than Rimini. So they're just going to hop on the boat and stay on the boat for a while. We go to Rijeka after Pola, which wants to go back to Venice actually, which is the reason why we will probably wants to have 1 boat go in one direction and 1 other boat go in the other direction and make a loop out of this. So let's go to Sadar next. Sadar wants to also go to Venice. And actually Split want to go to Sadar, so maybe we'll add that as well. Split also wants to go to Zagreb and Sarajevo. Don't really care. Also want to go to Ancona. We knew that. So let's head to Pescara next. I'm not gonna go down to Bari and Foggia and all of these, Taranto. We'll leave it at that and just go Ancora and back to Rimini. I'm gonna turn this onto cyclic. That'll make it a loop instead. And we'll put a boat onto this. So ships, we have a few different ships. Same thing applies here as to the road vehicles. We get to either focus on one company, and then as our inventory runs low, we're gonna have to focus on something else. Capacity for this boat is significantly lower than what we're gonna need, but that means that it will always run at full efficiency at least, so we should be able to expect 100,000 in profits, 2 days, and it should be paying itself back. So let's do that. It will instantly fill up here because everyone wants to go to Ancora, which is kinda unfortunate. But we also have some people who wants to go to Venice, so I think we're good. The good thing here is that Rome wants to go to Verona, so as soon as we get enough money for a hub, we can put a hub in Venice, and that means that we can easily start actually exploring even further north in Italy, and at that point you usually start making quite a bit of money. Okay, I'm looking at the vehicles going between L'Aquila and San Marino. We have an optimized vehicle profitability objective for this month, and for the Cintos that go between Rome and Latina, it's just 1200 or 12,000. But the Aquelas is almost losing us 50 grand each. And I'm looking at the volumes here, it's not actually that much. It's 15 passengers per month, at most 60. And for Rome up to L'Aquila, it's just 30. We might be able to actually do that with only one vehicle. So I'm gonna actually delete this guy. And I think that should be pretty good. What we could do instead is we could have you go over to Ancona. And that could be pretty good for us as well. Florence and Siena also want to go there, so it would be a good way to connect the rest of this. Let's see what the road costs to do that. If we want to add a road here, it's 93 grand. So it's not something we're gonna be able to do right now, but very, very soon we should be able to get that up and running. What we could maybe do is to move one of these guys. When they get to the city, maybe we can just move one of them over and have it do that instead. Oh, I just left. That sucks. I was too slow. And they're both having passengers as well. So what we will do is we're gonna move this route so that he can go on a different route. Instead of Rome, he's gonna go like this. But we'll lose 65,000 in passenger refunds if we do that. Oh, we need to upgrade that hub as well. Might actually go ahead and downgrade the Acca here between Rome and L'Aquila. If we downgrade it to the Orkler, that means that the estimated profit goes down a little bit, the potential profit. But it means that the minimum efficiency should be only 2 people. And the capacity goes down by 1. I think that makes sense. I think that pays off in the long run. So let's do that. Are we paying 7,000? No, I think we're actually getting 7,000 in return for it. So let's do that. And we have 63,000 up here. Can we make this work then? Let's see when one of these makes it to the hub, and we'll move it over to there. I think it was 90 that we needed. I was wrong. It's only 64 apparently. Just for a upgraded hub. Yeah, right. We paid for the refunds before when we checked. That's why it was 90. So this is actually fine. We can move you up here. We have 45 grand left. 47. Not even grand. We have 45 bucks left. That's all we have. This is looking okay. I wish I could put another boat on so we could get Venice down here. Being able to upgrade your hub cities is usually very, very good. But not always an option, unfortunately. That's fine though. We have this guy now going to Ancona, and Rimini. So unfortunately, this guy is kind of full. If I could, I would just force him to go to Ancona direct, but that's not going to happen. Next day is slowly coming around. Let's have a look at how our cities looks like. 67%, 50, 75. So none of these will be able to level up. Other than... Actually, would you look at this? We were able to get Ancona done here, so we will be able to get Rimini up leveled up for today, which is really nice. That means that we will get one more location for this guy to go, and we can easily add more to it. We also have Florence and Siena that we can bring over to Ancona. That can be worth it. Alright, new day. New opportunities. Looks like Siberian coach lines already went bankrupt. Bad AI. Bad AI. Destinations change. Venice, Vicenza to Pula. Okay. Rimini just leveled up, so Rimini should now have a new location to go to, which is Rome. That is very convenient. Okay. So we don't have to do anything with that. It's just a completed route already. We just need to make sure that we're not overwhelming Perugia here. Am I able to upgrade you guys? What if I take you? Can I upgrade you to a level 2? Not yet. How much more do we need for level 2? That's the Arcalod. Another 136,000. Alright. We might be able to just add another vehicle onto here. And that might pay for itself. I think so. The problem is that we don't have very much going to Ancona. So I kind of want to run a bigger bus rather than multiples. And we now have... Actually, we should focus on this. Yeah. We have the money now for the ship. So we're doing the ship. Sorry, plane. That has now gone up in inflation. So we're paying 315 for it. That's not what we want to see. We want to go from Rome over to Verona. Yeah, it's 315 now. That's unfortunate. Verona, let's get over there. It's gonna be way less than what we need. This guy is literally having 22 people standing here, and they want to move 45 people a day. We can't do that with airplanes at this point. But we can make it enough that we get these two. Fulfilled, I do believe. We don't need to move very many. So if we are able to do a few runs with the airplane, I think that's going to pay for hopefully our demand. Close to at least. Rimini is really struggling, huh? And a lot of that is just this Venice route, man. This Venice route is... Yikes. Yeah, where's this boat actually right now? Maybe I need to rearrange the setup for this boat. Will you empty when you get here? Yes. So Pula, Rimini, I don't actually care. We might just change your route. You will not go to these anymore. Instead, you will just go back and forth between Venice and Rimini. Because everyone seems to want to go to Venice, right? Yeah. We're gonna have to do that. I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. Edit your route. Get rid of everything that's not Venice. So Rimini to Venice. And that's all we're doing. It doesn't cost us anything, but we will make way more money that way. And as long as we can do one more trip with this guy, we will be able to fulfill the demand for Rimini as well. Which means that we get the grant for 180 grand again. Appreciate that. Yeah, these guys are not making very much money, are they? How is it looking down in Rome and places like this? Up to Verona is looking full as usual. What about Perugia? Actually holding up fairly well as well. Florence and Kona, Bologna and Rome. Maybe it makes sense to upgrade EU to be a level 2 vehicle if we have it. Still do not have access to that, huh? Do we add another vehicle on here maybe then? Alright, new day and new opportunities. We get a lot of different objectives now, so a lot of opportunities to make a lot of grants. Calgary. We don't have a dock, otherwise that would be an easy win actually. Instead, let's focus on these. So, Rome's demand, apparently we're not reaching it. Verona. Ah, it's because of Verona. Makes sense. We could upgrade you as well to do something like a 340 Express. We also have the A7, which is a faster airplane. Again, 400 grand though. Yeah, airplanes are really rough. They don't pay super well. Instead, let's try to add some more connections to Rome. Right now we have Pescara is an option, but I think we want to go for Grosseto over here. For sure. Akala, you're gonna go into there. He will fill up almost instantly. I guess what we could do is do this one with an airplane instead. Why don't we do that? That's an easy win for the money here. And the airplane will make money, we just won't be able to actually fulfill our other requirements. So yeah, let's get the airplane on there. That'll be fine. Looks like we need a hub upgrade for that though. So let's wait a little bit for that upgrade to come into effect. There we go. So that is at least that connection. We can get the bonus here for actually fulfilling the demand as well, but I think your demand for Rome is 30. Yeah. So that's gonna be tough. I don't think that's gonna happen. And this is 96. So annoying. Could upgrade EU and run a large bus across all of this. That's definitely an option. That's one more connection, which would actually do the limits there. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We're gonna take you. We're gonna go. Do we have the money for it? Let's start by editing your route. That's 200 grand. God damn it. Even if it's just a connection, I think that's all we need for the grant itself. And this guy just barely missed it with like 3%. Okay, if we do that, we're gonna have to pay $2 for this, which is fine. We'll do that. Does this count now? I don't think we can upgrade you to level 2 because that will be another 64 grand. Oh, it needs to go from the other side. Okay, my bad. We'll fix that. We can again teleport people. Let's edit the route. Let's move these so they go from Pescara instead. And he will actually teleport over here. And that should finish this. Yes. And there we have our grant. So next day, we should see quite a bit of money actually flowing in here. A lot of micromanaging going on at the moment. I like it. I like it. We're slowly gaining territory here in Italy. That's $300 in the bank. I like it. I earned trust in Croatia as well, probably through my boats. You can see where we have our trust right here. So everything in black is where we are preferred over the competition, and we can see the rest of the world as well. Pretty neat. You can also see things like our vehicles themselves and how they're making money. Most of them are white because they don't have any income at the moment, but at least no one is red. And that's all we can ask for. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm a bit skeptical. I think that guy might actually lose us money now, but we can live with that. What about this one? Connect Sari to Rome, which is just this guy. Okay. That has to be another airplane if we're gonna do that. And that's for 190 grand. Fulfill Rimini. Rimini wants to go to Ancona. Nobody is making it to Ancona. What is going on here? Okay. You can definitely upgrade. Like multiple times. And we can actually add way more buses to this as well. And there we have it. Rimini just hit 100%, so it's gonna level up again. It's not like it's already way too busy, right? Do we try to fix this one as well, maybe? Connecting that to Rome can actually be kinda good. It'll give us a grant as well. I don't know if we will have the money for it though. Let's see what the airplane here costs. 336. 39 actually. We can probably do that. With a little bit of luck on our side, we can probably connect this. Ah, we didn't really do it. Close though. I think Rome still leveled up. This is nice. So now you need to go to Katsuna as well. I think there was someone else who needed to go there. Looks like L'Aquila actually leveled up as well. That's really good. We kind of needed that. Alright. Good to see. Who else? Rimini, right? Of course. Wanna go to Sarajevo now? We're not doing that. Forget about it. I think we are continuing to grow here. We're gonna make it up to Verona. I think that's our next planned stop. There's just a lot of stuff here. Maybe Milan would be a better place. Yeah, let's maybe start in Milan next. Gonna need 800 grand for that. What do we need here? We need you to be connected to more places. Rome needs connections. It says 13. Do I even have that many accesses? Looks like you actually are building up. Why does it say that you are not fully connected? Oh, it says that you cannot get to there. Because 1 billion people want to go to Verona. Okay. San Marino as well. We might have to upgrade some vehicles here. So let's do that. Let's do that. We have 4 vehicles on this, so definitely worth it to get some upgrades. And we got 2 tier 2 vehicles now. One that require us to do 12 and one that require us to do 9. I think we will play it safe. Actually, this is kind of our main route. So no, we will go with the big guys. For sure. Unfortunately, I upgraded the one that was on its way out. Should have probably upgraded you instead. Let's go... Yeah, let's just upgrade you when we get the money for it. There we go. He will get 18. You are not actually running full, but you are. So once we have the money for you, we're gonna upgrade you as well. Which won't happen right now. Okay. We're definitely gonna need these guys to upgrade eventually as well. And there we have another tier 2 vehicle. Alright, after playing around with some toy vehicles for quite some time here, we have been able to make up a good amount of budget here, 2.5 grand or 2.5 million even. And that means that we can finally start working into our next vehicle, which will be a train. So let's get our trains out and running here. We have a lot of different options at the moment. I think we would like to go with something quite simple. How about maybe one of those BT2400? I think that seems pretty good. 110 kilometers an hour and 120 capacity. Yeah, I think that seems pretty good. Avalon would be an option as well. maybe we should go with Avalon, to be honest. A little bit less capacity, but I think Avalon has some really good upgrades. Their level 2 and level 3 trains are really good, especially level 3 with 300 capacity. Yeah, I think we'll go with Avalon. Why not? And we want to go from Rome. I remember I said we want to go to Verona at some point, but I think we're going to end in Milan. So that will be our plan. Makes sense to go through our bigger cities. So let's go to Rimini. And then let's go up to Verona. They put that route through Bologna as well, so we will be able to stop by there. So let's make sure that we put that one on there. And then we go to Milan afterwards. So let's see if we have the money for this. 1.2 million. You can see it's very expensive to go into trains. But they pay extremely well and it's really easy to maintain. So it looks like we might have to wait a little bit to get enough money for the train itself. We were able to pay for the route. But yeah, the train, somehow all of my trains just disappeared now. I think it was a bug that we saw all of them before. We should only see the European trains because we only have access to European. For some reason we saw more than what we could have, but we still have available the Avalon, so that is still an option for us. And we're sticking to that. And it instantly fills up. So yeah, we definitely are in need of the train. That is no question of a doubt. If we can get another train on here, actually, we will do that as well. But yeah, it's the Verona that's gonna be filling up these trains fairly quickly. And yeah, on the way back, we don't have as much, but we're filling up. Let's get one more train on here. I think that makes sense. Okay, we made ourselves a good amount of money here with the grants. So I think once this day is over, we'll be ready to open up another hub and actually get Milan going here. Which is quite exciting. I do enjoy that. It's gonna be almost, yeah, it's gonna be 600,000, which gives us almost 2 million over here. So let's get our hub up and running. And let's get to building. We're gonna go road vehicles. I'm gonna go Acola to begin with. Just like that. And then we're gonna go just like that. Build that guy. Build this guy. And then we're gonna take a look. Where do you wanna go? This guy's wanna connect in as well. Connect to you. We are starting to make enough money now that we can slowly make our way to actually start adding hubs where we don't have a super big amount of traffic. So yeah, if we let the game run a little bit, we can actually get Milan, and at that point we're covering a lot of Italy, to be honest. It might be time to start moving out and take advantage of this setup that... You remember we had one of our competitors go bankrupt? They left a bunch of infrastructure. We can kinda cannibalize that and use it for our own benefits. Which could be very good. But yeah, we're gonna have to get this up and running first. Milan wants to go to Livorni as well as Bern. It's kinda annoying. I'm gonna leave those. I don't want to go there. Yeah, why don't we keep expanding? Oh wow, look at Bergamo. Holy smokes, there's a lot of people who wants to go here. Okay. Ha. Do I collect Verona to do that, maybe? I kinda have to. Where do you want to go? You want to go to Parma? Yeah, I think we'll build a hub in Verona. And let's just get Verona caught onto this. I did not realize that was that good. Bergamo is wild. More vehicles, people, come on. Ooh, you wanna go there, huh? Maybe not you then? Can we go here instead? You want to go here as well. And the same there. I can't build a new hub, unfortunately, so even connecting this is going to be kind of troublesome. Oh, we got some connections. You can make manual connections, so if you want to, you can go in and actually set up a road directly to Verona like that. I like to have the game do it itself, though. I just find that kind of interesting. But yeah, the Terminal for sure is gonna go there. I guess Bergamo is some sort of tourist destination or something. It's wild how many wants to go there. Yeah, let's get a hub here. 900 grand, there we go. We're now making a lot of money. You can see that things are quickly going to start expanding here. Really, you have one place you want to go. Yeah. And you're satisfied with what you're doing right now. That's good. So Modena is gonna grow. And at this point, things are going to start really snowballing, I am almost certain. Alright. So let's get this done instead then, maybe. Connect Naples and Pescara. That could make sense. I think we already have Salerno going to Pescara. Yeah. How are you looking? Do you actually run full all the time? Kinda are. Okay. So maybe do this instead then. Let's go from Latina over to Naples with the car. Oh, that's really shitty. Yeah, we can't get a road over there. Pescara to get to Naples. It doesn't actually count to this guy because they won't travel that direction. A passenger can transfer up to 6 vehicles and will never take a path that is longer than the straight line to destination times 3 or longer than 2 times of the shortest path available. So apparently this route is more than 3 times the length, which sucks. So if we look at Naples to Pescara, this route that we have is 470 kilometers. But if we look at this guy, it is only 182. So we can't actually do that route. Can we go to here? Yeah, 315. That's still shorter than one. Yeah, then we are at least under the 3 times distance, right? So technically that would actually do it. Oh yeah, now it fills up. Nice. So that's the Naples connection. And a good example of why you might have to change around some things. This guy is getting very overwhelmed. The indirect traffic for this is wild. And it's all to get up to Verona. From where? Connecting from Rome and to Ancora. Why are they taking this route and not the train? Yeah, I guess it's just faster for them to go with that instead of the train, which makes little sense, to be honest. Alright, so our Italy situation right here is going smoothly. It's generating us a decent chunk of money each month, which is nice, about 2 million. I figured we can take that and we'll put it into actually competing a little bit with the AI at this point. We have this guy. He went bankrupt a little bit ago, so he doesn't really do anything. It's just a passive location at the moment. But we can see that he's still in control of Germany. We're not gonna deal with him. It's fine. We can use his infrastructure if we wanted to, and that's probably the best way of doing it. I just want to display the way that you can actually compete with the AI otherwise as well. And the easiest way to do that is to find a city inside of where you are, unless you want to actually kind of push it from... We can do a frontal assault, right? Just go through Slovenia, Hungary, Austria, Slovakia, Czechia, and then push into Poland. to compete with him in Poland. But you can also do this kind of covert things where you are just going into a city where he is already located, or a city where he's not located, but a country where he's located. Such as Panovechkis here, or however that is pronounced. I think, yeah, that is just below where I'll actually live right now. Welcome to Riga, everyone. Eastern Europe. Yeah, so if we buy a hub over here, we can actually start competing with him. So if we take a look at Lithuania right now, he is the company trust at the moment. And we're gonna change that. So we have Panovetsky here right now. We have $2.5 million to play around with. So we need to start competing with the trust. And you do that by delivering passengers better than your competition. So if we go to Kaunas over here, we can start by setting up a route to head over there. And to do that, we want to probably use something like a smaller vehicle. Just like that. And that will be our first steps to actually taking over Kaunas over here. Kaunas also wants to go to Vilnius, as well as to Odrena, as well as Riga, as you can see. Riga seems to be a very convenient place for us to go. So why don't we set up a route up to Riga? That could help us quite a bit. We're heading with you over there. You also want to go to Dagaspels. I don't think we want to head over there at the moment. We're gonna let this guy make it back to Panoveskis. And maybe we'll get some trust once we... There we go. We're gonna change his route. We're gonna go... First off, swap them around, and we're gonna have you go down to Riga instead. And now I think what we can do, probably upgrade you. This guy, actually that's only 15 to Riga, so maybe not worth it. And you wanna go to Kaunas. Where does Riga wanna go? You also wanna go to Kaunas. How much? 30. Maybe worth it then. Yeah, let's get an upgrade. We'll do a level 2 car here. Probably the faster one, since it's quite far to go. And I think that'll give us some trust here. You can see we are at 100% trust because he has not actually delivered anything. And that means that we can finally buy him out for a price of 500,000. You notice that that's a cheaper hub. And we now own Kaunas. So we have a hub over here as well, and we can start doing the same, for example, for Vilnius. So Vilnius want to go to Kaunas, so we just set up a route to go in between those two. Same thing there. We're gonna have to invest some money to do this, but we're also making money as we do this. All right. So we're now starting to see more and more that we are competing with him. So we're up to 16% here in Vilnius. Still not fully where we would like to be. We wanna get over to Pärnu at some point. He has a direct route though, so that's probably not going to happen. Actually, it's an indirect route, so we can compete with that. I wonder if we want to do that. Pärnu seems to be the one that he's struggling the most with. It's just we don't have a way from Riga up to Pärnu, do we? Yeah, that has to go all the way up to there. How do we compete in Riga? By going up to Pärnu or down to Kaunas? Kaunas I think we're doing. Helsinki also needs to go up there, okay. That's fine, we're gonna continue a little bit further. Kaunas is looking good. Vilnius now, he set up a route up to Pärnu through that. Which means that if we are to actually do that, we would have to set that up as well. So let's try to compete with him on that. This is an easy win, actually. Kaunas to there. For sure, let's do that. Sinto, swap that around, so we go that direction. Yeah, this is an easy win. You can easily do that one. We can also have one go to Riga eventually. Actually, they will go to Riga this way anyway. Okay. Then we could just add more trains to this, or add more vehicles to this. And that will keep you guys busy. Very good. So this will actually cover your overview as well. We are competing here now, so we're up to 42%. Once we hit 55, remember, we can buy out the company or buy out the hub itself. Unfortunately, we're not really there just yet. It's the Kaunas that we are doing really well with. The Helsinki one we're still struggling somewhat with. About the Pärnu one. So you have a direct route to Pärnu. And we just hit 56%. So unfortunately, my dude, what's yours is now mine. Almost. There we go. Bought that. We now own Vilnius. And you can see we own the country itself. So from now on, we will be more likely to be able to continue building up this country, because you can see that our country trust is at 100%. And that means that countries with the most trusted companies is chosen every month. Cities, local governments can vote with their level for one company that they trust most of the months, which means that we, with Vilnius, Kaunas, as well as the two northern cities, have been able to overcome whatever he can do in Klaipėda, for example. And travelers will prioritize our company over other options now, which is good to see. You can see now we actually have a direct path to Vilnius. And we also get the opportunity from that point to go in and delete said pass if we wanted to. So instead of having this guy do whatever wild stuff this is, we can now get rid of him and run more, but a bit more reasonable routes, I guess. So let's do that. Let's get rid of him. Don't need him to do that. We can overwhelm Riga if we want to. That would be an easy way for us to take over a lot of the work over there. But we now have a connection up in Eastern Europe as well. And I can imagine once we get to a point where maybe we get 30, 40 AIs, this can become very, very, very complicated. But yes, I think that will be a good place for us to wrap up. We made it all around the world, almost. Most of Europe. You can see it's gonna take us a long time to cover the whole world. Why don't we hop over to Discovery and play a little bit of that to show you guys what that's all about as well. And here we are, maybe with my most anticipated game mode actually, which is fun to say after, what, 50 minutes into the video. Yeah, Discovery. Lovely little thing here. We're gonna go with Keanomy's... I don't know, Invasion I think is a good name for this. We'll go with that. Alright, here we are. A new company has been founded and we will discover the world by unlocking cities and countries as we progress. And the important part is that we can't have our cities overfill and we need to make sure that we're continuously growing. So it's more or less a race against the clock. And it looks like today we're starting in Mozambique, just outside the coast of Madagascar, or I guess the Madagascar is off the coast of Mozambique, depending on how you see it. Two port cities we're starting with, Praia de Belém and Maputo. Okay, I think we'll go with boats though. Do we? No, I think we'll go with cars. So yeah, we're gonna have to build up some stuff. You have some perks when you're playing in this mode. You don't pay as much for the hubs. Paying for hubs is significantly less than in the full game. I think it's almost like 200. You pay 1/20th of the price almost, usually is what I've found. Top left hand corner we have the actual timer and also the normal notifications, including your size of the company or how well you're able to transport passengers. So let's get through this. Chai, that's actually a really good opening. Something that you learn in this is that the game becomes really hard if you get some really long distance travel in the opening aspects of the discovery mode. But for now, this looks very, very promising, actually. Happy to see that. Let's see how far we can make it. We need to do another 19 minutes and then another country needs to be unlocked. If we don't do that, the timer will slow down though when we get close to it. But if we don't do that, we'll fail. Literally, the game will just end. So we need to be a little bit attentive to that. But that is fine. That is perfectly fine. We're down to 10 minutes now. I think I will already unlock Eswatini over here. With Mbayan. I don't know how to pronounce any of this. This is just Italy again. I don't know how to talk about this. What in the world is this route? Huh? That's 700. No, this can't be. We're not doing that. We're doing a manual road from here to there. For 200, yeah. Makes a lot more sense, don't you think? Maybe bring you like up here somewhere. Just because I think it's more likely that we're gonna have to go up this way than anywhere else. So let's do that. And then we'll go just like you, Akka, put that onto there. So this game mode, you will have a lot more use out of the forced road construction. In the normal classic mode, it's a lot easier to just kind of build what you want to. We have a bayro over here as well. Maybe it's time to actually start looking into some boats then. So you up to here, maybe swap you guys around. Let's go boats somewhere around here. And Little Explorer is really good, but I like the second tier of Petite Voyager a lot more, because Crestline's silver tier is the Silver Ripple, and then you go into the Wind Rider. There is a mission that you need to do to unlock this Wind Rider. Otherwise, you go to Silver Horizon. But I like this brand of vehicles better. Also, the Marine Metro looks fucking crazy, so that's good. So we're gonna probably go with the Petite, maybe. I think this will be a fairly heavy boat setup. So let's see how this goes. How far did it take for you to go one trip? 53 hours. We're gonna need 4 boats on here. Oof. Okay. That's not gonna be pretty. Well, that is what it is. That is what it is. Yangmo over here. I think we can just connect you to Chai Chai. That should be fine. And again, let's do the Akka. How are we doing with like money? You are not making us very much money, are you? Why not? I think that's just temporary. I think you will be making us money now. Same thing with Mabane actually not making super much either. Despite this guy actually being full of stuff. So let's get another vehicle on here. Maybe it's just we're too slow to do this. We're gonna need you to do more. That's good. We can even do one more here. And then we have Praia, which want to go to map. Okay, that's fine. They will actually pick up a lot of that going here. Chai, you probably want to have another vehicle on here. Why did you only take 4? New city needs to be unlocked. Interesting indeed. Where do we want to go with said city? I think the obvious answer is South Africa, right? That just makes the most sense. Yeah, Zimbabwe is so small and doesn't have very many locations to go to. So yeah, South Africa I think is our stop. And then we go Maputo to Durban. with a ship. Again, I'm gonna use the Petite Voyager. Excuse me? Why can I not? Oh, I have a bunch of the other stuff on there. There we go. This guy is so slow. Wild. Okay. It's actually kind of easy with boats though, because if you add one, you will see a lot of people actually move on that boat. And we don't need countries really, or cities really, to be expanding very much. So from that aspect, it's actually quite okay. Some cities have grown, Chai Chai has grown. But yeah, we're not seeing very much people standing around on any of these actually. You have quite a few. And that's because, didn't I set up a route between you guys? I guess I didn't, huh? Let's go with Arkalod. Got a full hour now of game time to unlock the next city, which is fine. That's not an issue. How are you looking? You're slowly building up some of your workers. This guy has made it halfway. You can see how boats is very, very slow. But they're also capable of moving a lot of people, especially later on. You can move hundreds in one trip, which is very nice. Have we unlocked any new cities that I missed? It do actually notify you sometimes, but I keep removing notifications and then not paying attention to them. Which isn't great. Which isn't great. Okay, how's this looking? You're at 100% actually. A new city, Pretoria. Okay, that's fine. We can connect you with a car without any issue. Just like that. Beira is overcrowded. Okay, so it's time to get this boat duplicated so we can get all of those out of here. It should be very, very good. There we go. It actually empties almost all of them. 4 people left. So it looks like one of these can kinda keep up with the majority of all this, which is nice. Duran is looking okay. Pretoria is looking okay. This might be a run that's worth saving, my dude. We did unlock Johannesburg, I saw there for a second. Where is that? Didn't it say that we unlocked it for like a second? Maybe it didn't. Yeah, no, it's right here. Yeah, I guess the game kind of deletes some notifications. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. Again, this is a pre-build of the game. It's not the full release build as it will be released, so there's some small tweaks still left to do. I'm sure that's one of the things that could be worth it to swap around. Especially for this game mode where it's really important that you are able to keep that in mind. Okay, we're gonna have to go with Arkalod here. And we're now running into the next country to unlock. Do we just go Lesotho? It's not gonna give us very much though. There's just gonna be a huge amount of money to go there. Malawi would be interesting, but I think we'll go Zimbabwe. That's Harare. Can we start setting up? No. I was hoping we could do a rail. Like a rail along the coastline would be really nice. Into there, but I don't have the money for a rail setup. So instead, I imagine a car ride between these two is going to be very expensive, yeah. But it is a fairly straightforward car ride, to be honest. Let's let the game run for a little bit, let's see what happens. We're just not making a lot of money, are we? 170,000 in profits? Why is that? This guy is not making any money whatsoever, huh? Yeah, you're just empty. You could probably make a lot more money, right? I think we're gonna downgrade him and upgrade the other one. So we do you to be I mean, if you're just running 2 people, we're gonna need something like an ortler. That's all you can do. This guy, not super much. How about you, Pretoria? We can actually do one more over there. Without issue. How about everything else? You down to Durban is quite busy. Same thing up to Beira. Which we also have a boat for. Actually 2 boats, so that's fine as well. Mabane should be... Mabane and Pretoria should be picked up by this guy now. So that's probably fine. And then we have these guys going over here. Also okay. Chai looking good. Yamango looking good as well. So we're making enough with the money that we have. And now everything is overcrowded. That's not good. I think this guy will empty it though. Might need one more vehicle on here. I don't have the money to do one more vehicle here and care for this guy. What about Durban? I want to click on you. Praia del Bien. Okay, so you are actually gonna need another one. I don't have a choice, I have to do that. And that will go from Durban over to other place. That should fix yours? No? Ah, they took the first ones. That's unfortunate. And we're quickly running into the country as well. Harare is now an issue too. Okay, can we set you up to go over here now then at least? There we go. Accept that. And just add vehicles here until we at least get Harare to... There we go. Probably don't need you. Okay, city available in Rustenburg. That's an easy one. Just bring you into here. Probably do... We do Ortler? You can do Ortler. That's fine. That's fine. 186,000 left. Durban still not where it needs to be. This guy still burns even after you left. Oh, we're in a pickle already, huh? Few countries and we're already struggling. And we need another country as well. Zambia or Botswana? I wonder which one makes the most sense. Maybe Botswana, we can go towards Namibia and Angola afterwards. Doesn't really make sense though. Yeah, it makes way more sense to go upwards. To start getting into Tanzania and Congo, where we have some more cities to unlock. But that's another long route here. Okay. We're gonna have to figure that out. You are now filled up to the brim, so we should definitely get him on there. We're gonna need more than one. Ah, we have a minus amount in income. How is our operating profits negative? What is going on? Oh, because of these boats. Yeah. Oh no, all of these cars. They're running empty up to Harare. Yeah, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. Even if I sell these, I don't think it helps. I don't have the money to unlock another city. I can do Lasset though. But I also need another boat here. Because the current boat that we already have here is Probably already full, huh? It is filling up now. I don't think he will empty it though. Maybe a little bit? Hey? Almost. Okay, let's unlock this. See what we can do. Macero. Honestly, easier to go up here than to go down to Durham. It's 1.4 million. Up to Johannesburg is 500 grand. Yeah. Not even questioning that. Not even questioning that. Add you. You let me guess you want to go to Durham? Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? How do I even get there? I'm just gonna leave it for now. Like, I can't do this. This is a wild route. 1.5 million? I'm making like nothing. 500,000. This is like 3 days of income for me. That doesn't work. How are you doing? Lots of people to Durban. Which is okay-ish. This one, however, not so much. Let's see, do that one. Still busy. Okay. Do we get another one on here? At this point, I'm just adding boats for the sake of adding boats. You are still having issues. We need the one that goes from Durban. Do we not have a boat that goes from here? I guess not, huh? Then let's set up a boat that goes from there instead. We only have boats that goes to there, but I need it to originate from that place. Oh, we have the Silver Ripple now. That could actually help quite a bit. It's doubling our work. Let's get Petite on here. Still not enough. One more. Still not enough. We need a new country as well. I can't even add another boat here. Even though that's about to explode and everything else is about to explode as well. A lot of that is because these guys are not actually keeping up. Can we just add a few of you and maybe upgrade you to be... Oh, you're running level 1 vehicles. Let's go to level 3. That should help with the profits as well. And we need another country, which we had 38,000. So yeah, company value of $5.6 million. And yeah, the Discovery has some opportunity left to be balanced, and I know the developer is working on it, so hopefully we should see an improved version in the near future. But that has been Worldwide Rush. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I thank you very much for watching.